Good morning, everybody. 11 a.m. Sunday morning. It is First Sip, Draft for Upside. Johnny Danger here with Chris Emmerich and Brewery Mark. I'm first sipping on some coffee. How about you, gentlemen?
Same.
Well, I've been up since 2:30, so
Yeah.
I've already gone through 2 pots of coffee, and now is time for the beers.
Beer time.
I did take a nap already, too.
I got my weekly beer quota in on the Friday night tipsy pick video. So I think I'm good for today. I don't know if you guys watched it. It was some of my best work.
It was. I enjoyed it immensely.
I keep getting told to cut it down to like 5 minutes, but I just can't find a way to contain all of this in just like 5 minutes time. It's just not possible.
I want you to start doing it live.
I think that's a terrible idea. Terrible idea. Pretty damn funny. So I woke up to some good news. Chris pointed me in the direction that the New Orleans Saints supposedly was a false positive. So the Lions and the Saints game is going to go on as scheduled. That's good news.
Yes, it is.
And I just saw Adam Scheffner pass along that there has been no more positive tests from Kansas City, New England outside of Cam, and that they are planning to play that game Monday night as of now, but no official word from the NFL.
And probably no Cam, right?
No Cam, yeah. If Cam got a positive test, I mean, he's out this weekend, next week. There's no way 10 days.
2 weeks, yeah, it's 2 weeks,
out.
Right?
Well, I think it's 10 days if you have symptoms. So, I mean, I don't know when their next schedule is. But interesting for Kansas City. Let's see, they're going to play Monday night. Then they are the Sunday game next week, and then the Thursday game the week after that. So they're going to play like 3 games in 10 days.
Oh, that'll be rough.
Pretty brutal for them. So maybe a fade of the Kansas City people on the Thursday night game just from sheer exhaustion. But we'll get to that at some point. More Titans keep popping up. What do you think's going to go on there? I just saw NFL's talking about moving the season to 18 weeks and adding some extra time in.
Why they should have done that in the first place? It should have been, should have been in the first place.
Yeah.
That's all I got.
Yeah, it was probably always the contingency plan, because they have a lot of space in January and February. They can move stuff around.
Yeah, the real problem begins to be weather concerns in places that don't have domes. So schedule changes to keep things in more controlled environments. But there's not that many, really, I guess.
Yeah, but going to the end of the season, you'd think that they could move them into domes and teams that, it's not like you have fans. So,
right. It's true. So it'll be interesting to see how that plays out.
Yeah, because I think the only thing they can't really move is the Super Bowl, because that's such a big event to that city. You know what I mean? There's so much setup. It would be devastating to move that.
It's almost like shutting down an entire economy. I think they could probably. I think they could probably figure it out. I'm sure if you went to the airline, like, hey, can I use this next week? They'll be like, oh yeah, there's a couple extra seats on these planes, even all the way into February. So I think it'll be okay. I think it'll be all right.
Yeah. I'm going to be honest. I don't even know where the Super Bowl is scheduled to play this year.
Yeah, I don't either.
Las Vegas.
Then who cares?
Oh, that makes sense.
Oh no, it's in Tampa. I'm sorry, Tampa.
Also fine.
It's LV for the Roman numerals, so I assumed it was Las Vegas initially.
Funny.
But it's in Tampa, so yeah, it's fine. It'll be warm. They're already open,
Hi, Mrs. Emmerich.
She didn't hear you.
Hola, ¿cómo están?
Hello. So, I don't know. Any other news out there that I saw? Has there been an update on Hopkins yet? That's a news of note for DFS.
Yeah, I mean, if we haven't heard anything, I expect he's going to play. So,
any love for Andy Isabella as a darling play back-to-back weeks with Kirk out?
Yeah, absolutely.
Of course, 4,500 is much different than the 3,700 from last week, but still
Is
works.
it though? Is it? Is it really
Still
that
works. Yeah, because I keep finding myself with that last player with $4,200 left. So yes, it is a difference.
I don't know what to tell you.
It's fine. Everything's fine. Oh, just going over a few of my lineups here. I maxed out the $3 20 max, and, of course, playing in our league. So I have 21 lineups. It looks like I've got pretty much. I've got Wilson and I've got Fitzpatrick. I've got Watson, a little Dak. I've got some Stafford, Kyler Murray, and that's about it. About 3 or 4 of each one of those guys. It's kind of where I fell with quarterbacks this week. What'd you guys end up laying on?
I have not constructed my lineups yet. I'm currently doing my early only, which I ended up with a little bit of Russ, a little bit of Joe Burrow, some Nick Foles, and I got a Lamar Jackson. I've got like the fancy feet lineup is what I call it.
Yeah.
Lamar Jackson, Zeke, Dalvin Cook, and Alvin Kamara. It's early only. I mean, I don't know.
Right.
I got 3,700 to figure everything else out. So every other line, I think I'm gonna trot out the. I don't know. I don't know what defense. Maybe the Panthers.
Yeah. Some Mick Steven says Wentz is going to light it up.
Wentz, yeah. Oh, okay, sure.
Yeah, I got one lineup with Burrow. I forgot about Foles, man. I had him kind of pegged to build a lineup. Maybe I'll switch one of those $3 lineups out for a Foles. I like that game.
Yeah, I'm not going with the 20 lineups this week. I've built 6 so far. I'll probably end up with about 10 lineups. Yeah, I'm going to have one Nick Foles lineup. I'm curious to see how he plays, and so I'm interested. My biggest thing with quarterbacks this week is I'm using Lamar Jackson in a couple of lineups, and that's completely a leverage play, even though he's so expensive, because right now he's projected ownership is only 5%. So I'm thinking a little leverage there in a GPP. It won't be in my cash lineup by any means, but I have a lot of Fitzpatrick and Russell Wilson.
I don't really think that there's a problem putting him as your cash quarterback by any means. I think he projects out to have the highest raw point total, something that you're looking for in cash, and going to be the 6th highest owned quarterback in terms of at least projections I've seen. I think 5% is probably a little bit low, but looking at different projection, I guess I'm looking at another one where he's projected as the 4th highest raw point total, but I mean he's in that conversation, and I think his ability to get those points is pretty safe. So yeah, I don't have a problem putting him in cash. It's just certainly there's a lot of high priced running backs that are in really good spots that make it a little bit difficult to fit in when you have 8,000 up top, when you definitely want to go 8,000 right underneath them.
Right.
And looking at RotoGrinders projections, 40% projection for Alvin Kamara, 36 for Zeke, and then everybody else is 27, 25 and under.
Yeah. Kamara is definitely the chalk of the chalk this week.
Well, Mike Davis too. I don't know. I mean, I'm
he's
looking at it.
27.6. Yeah.
What's that?
So he's 4th on this list.
Are you looking at FanDuel or are you looking at DraftKings? Because I just refreshed it.
I was looking at FanDuel. You're right, sir. Well,
yeah, Mike Davis 30%.
Yeah. So, I mean, I think that goes back. There are a couple of guys that you can get really good leverage plays that I think are in good spots. I talked about it in the article. I like James Robinson. I like Nick Chubb if Hunt is out. Definitely Dalvin Cook. We talked about it on Thursday. I think he's in a fantastic spot. 12% ownership, similar price. You're not going to see a lot of lineups that, are going to have, 2 of those guys, I think. I mean, maybe Mike Davis, but certainly, I think the build that people are going to go with is either an Alvin Kamara and Mike Davis, or Ronald Jones, or an Ezekiel Elliott with a Mike Davis or a Ronald Jones. But Kenyon Drake, David Johnson, Dalvin Cook, all of those guys are still in smash spots. They are guys that can, be your top scoring back for the week. I think Nick Chubb, if he's the only running back there, they're not going to be trotting out Dearness Johnson, although I love Dearness Johnson. He's just not going to get that play. I think the other guy that's really, really, really going underlooked is, Jonathan Taylor. I mean, why wouldn't you look at Jonathan Taylor at 6'6", down under 5% owned? I don't think you need to get too much further down, but even a little bit lower, again, higher price tag, but Austin Eckler, 7,000, 3% owned. There's just not as many weapons in that offense anymore. And I think that game is, and we talked about it on Thursday, just inaccurate in terms of the over-under. So I smashed the over on that. In fact, let me make sure I smashed the over on that.
I really like that. Forget the quarterback when you're stacking that game. Just Eckler, Allen, and Hunter is a really nice trio from that game.
Yeah, and then you run it back with Mike Evans. Mike Evans, another guy that's going to be he's underpriced. He's going to be significantly owned. I mean, I don't think that there's any secret on Mike Evans, but I think Keenan Allen is a position that we talked about on Thursday in terms of his ownership being vastly lower than what it should be. And part of that is that there are a lot of guys that, like last week, it was hard to figure out in some regards who you wanted to play. I think this week it's still the same thing, but it's for different reasons. In terms of the wide receivers, you've got Tyler Lockett, you've got DK Metcalf, and then you got guys like DJ Moore, Odell Beckham, who are both in fantastic spots in their role in the offense. Will Fuller, Devontae Parker, Stephon Diggs, the entire Cowboys wide receiving core. If Hopkins is playing, you probably want to play Hopkins. You got Adam Thielen. Lou Landers loves Renfro, as we discussed yesterday. I know he doesn't really love him, but he has one. And I mean, look at that price. I don't think he's in a smash spot, but he's cheap. But then you got Brandon Cooks that's cheap. You've got Andy Isabella. You've got Trey Higgins. You've got all of these guys that are just in really interesting spots that they should smash. So it's how do you put that lineup together? How do you get the right ones? Who's gonna fail, and how different do you want to get? And this is one of those weeks where it is difficult to only play 1 to 2 lineups, because you're gonna have guys that you really want to play that you're not going to play.
Yeah, I've got that issue big time. I currently don't have any Kamara in any of those 21 lineups.
Yeah, I have one.
I know, wacky, huh?
Yeah, I found myself landing on Drake and Cook for most of my lineups. I really like their spots, and then Devin Singletary. I loved his usage last week, and so I at 5'9", at 5,900 and only 5% ownership. I threw him in a couple.
And, comments in the chat, Nick is talking about it's a primetime game. The 49ers defense is hurt, but so is the offensive line for the Eagles. That is they're not better than their 0-2-1 record. I disagree. I mean, the Eagles suck. They're really bad. Not totally their fault. They just don't have a lot of healthy guys, not in the offensive line, not in the receiving corps, not anything. But that's something that we'll look at in a showdown. Ertz, Greg Ward, those are kind of guys that I'd be looking at in that game.
So if they officially move the Kansas City game to Monday, it'd be kind of a fun Monday-Thursday slate, because you'd get 3 games in instead of 2.
Awesome. Great. Can't wait to write about more games. That'll be great. Awesome. Just
Yeah.
All right. Any more thoughts on running backs?
Yeah, I mean, I'm out on Taylor simply because I'm like 90% Bears D in my DFS, so I don't really have a lot of him. David Johnson kind of snuck into a lot of spots. Ronald Jones, obviously, for salary saving, but I think we pretty much touched everybody I'm playing. A little bit of touch of Gaskins. That's it. No shocks and surprises out of me this week.
All right. So
Yeah, I
wide
feel pretty chalky,
receivers.
Mark. I'm not going to lie. I'm usually kind of off the beaten path, but it's a lot of guys who make sense this week. It's weird. Weird for me.
So it looks like the highest projected ownership for wide receivers is DJ Moore, Carolina.
He's in a good spot.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's in a good
I'm
spot.
not a fan of it. It seems like he tends to do the fly routes a lot, and Teddy's just not checking the ball down there. He's dumping it off, so I'm not going to have any DJ Moore.
He's got 26 targets over 3 games, Mark.
Yeah.
13
I like him.
2 weeks ago, 9 against the Raiders. Had 120 yards, 50, 60. I mean, he's a guy that's getting massive usage in that offense. That's the rationale behind it, and he's super cheap too. I mean, you're gonna get somebody
cheap.
Probably get 7 to 10 targets, at a 5,600 price tag. I mean, the question is then, Odell Beckham 5,800. Dallas has just been really bad defensively. So, I mean, do you like that spot a little bit better than him? He's not getting the type of usage in that offense. 10, 6, and 6. I mean, that's 22. That's not 26. But, I mean, they're close. They're 4 apart. If you want to do the math, I did it for you.
That's why we love you, Chris.
Look,
man.
I'm sharp. That's what it is. Like
math man.
Can do those numbers.
Yeah, I think one of the surprising ones down there in a game that Seattle hasn't been able to stop anyway. Of course, Seattle has played some top-notch offenses. Let's be clear about that. But Preston Williams still kind of hovering around 5% owned. I like him down there at 4.5 for salary savings in a game that they're going to have to throw the ball, and Gallup right next to him at 5.4% owned. I like both of those guys. So a little lower owned guys that are popping up. And Keenan Allen still not over 4%, 3.6 as of this morning. I mean, all of our millions of listeners are not moving the needle on that, Chris.
Well, I think that is a reflection of the total. It's 17.5. So there's not a lot of points to go around there. And I think that's reflected in the player's ownership. But going back to Preston Williams, I think that's a good play. There's a couple other guys at 4,500 that probably stand out as higher usage guys. But yeah, definitely if you're stacking this game, he's probably the 3rd, maybe 4th option. And that's the kind of the challenge that you have. If I'm stacking on the Miami side, Devontae Parker and Gesicki are the 2 guys that I'm looking at. And then Gaskin's going to be a somewhat distant 3rd. And then Preston Williams is way far out there. I don't know what kind of ceiling he really has and what you can really expect from him. Yes, he can score a touchdown. Yes, he can be involved. But he's not a guy that's going to catch every one of his targets. I mean, I think that's pretty reflective in, the numbers so far this year. If you go back even to last year, guy's going to catch maybe 50% of his targets. So let's just assume that, he's got 14 targets. So let's say 4, that's 2 catches. You hope that that's a touchdown. That's 8. I mean, it's really difficult for him to still get up to that 12. He was a good target last week, but last week we were talking about a single game slate. You didn't have a lot of options, and so that's the challenge there. Yes, Seattle has played some good offenses, but Seattle is missing one of their starting corners. They're missing Jamal Adams. Their secondary is not very good right now, and that's what we're looking for. That game, it's just how does that game not do what everybody think it's going to do in terms of just blowing up? Both of the defenses are terrible. Both of them are banged up. There's no running back. I don't think Carlos Hyde's playing. So I think your boy Homer, is it? Am I right? I don't even care. So I don't know.
Homer.
I wouldn't.
It looks like
some cheap options, but you gotta expect that this is going to be a game where there's going to be a lot of passing and. I don't know. I guess I can come up with a process in my head where Homer becomes a viable play, but I'm not going to do it.
Let's look at a couple other guys in that range. You've got Darius Slayton and Golden Tate as a possible run back to your Rams. I mean, I like Ingram more. Who else is in that range down there? I mean, ownership range. 5.8K, Terry McLaren, Curtis Samuel, Isabella.
McLaren might not play, but McLaren's not a guy. I don't want anybody on that Washington team. I think, one of my best bets of the week was I went a little bit off course. I was waiting for you to yell at me and tell me I couldn't do it, and I was prepared to argue with you. But I took a player prop as one of my bets as opposed to a game total or a spread, and I took Haskins under 220, 225 actually. I think there's a real possibility that he gets benched during this game and Kyle Allen comes out. I also took over 1 interception. So I figure he throws an interception. I have it at 1 exactly. And then that way, if he throws the interception and gets benched, I'm good.
So you're telling me put Kyle Allen in one of my lineups?
I don't think you need to do that if you're going to play Nick Foles or Ryan Fitzpatrick. But if you want to go in and get a little crazy and do a little showdown slate, maybe.
It's quite possible. All right. Mark, any other wide receivers you find yourself on that are not in the mainstream?
Yeah, they're probably mainstream, but I found myself with a lot of Galladay and Will Fuller, Devontae Parker. Those are kind of my main guys. And then what do you guys think of? So we have down here in the low ownership, I wanted to get your opinion on Gallup at 5.4% and Cooper Kupp at 3%.
Yeah, well, okay, so Gallup, you're in that situation where you have three wide receivers and you can't really figure out which one it's going to be. I mean, you have to kind of come up with that game script. I mean, I think if you're playing Gallup, you're probably playing Jarvis Landry. He was the helicopter Ian Hort's helicopter play of the week. So, he fits that, but then you're going to play Gallup alongside him. But I like Kupp. I mean, the Giants are just bad. I mean, they're bad. You can play Kupp. You can play Woods. I think they're going to get out. They're going to get ahead. They're going to score some points. And that secondary has been atrocious. So, again, it's one of those pick one of the other guys. I don't think one is better than the other, though.
Yeah, Woods is at 2.5% owned. That just seems a little crazy to me to have that low.
Yeah, well, and I think that if you're picking between the two of them, Robert Woods is a little bit less expensive, easier to put into your lineup, ends up running the ball at times too. Has not had the same type of passing role in the red zone, green zone, but he has had rushes in back-to-back weeks, one of which he was able to score on. So, he does add that extra element, and he's usually good for 1 or 2 30 or 40-point games per year. He's 8, 5, and 6 in terms of targets, and then Cooper Kupp, on the other hand, was 5, 6, and 10. So I don't know. I think I like Woods a little bit more than I like Kupp.
Yeah, me too.
Not just for the price, but I think that this is a game. We talked about Kupp last week, and the reason that we like Kupp a little bit more was that they were going to be playing from behind. They did play from behind. He saw additional targets as a result of that. I think they're going to be playing with a lead, and Woods is going to get there. But are they going to take their foot off the gas at some point? I don't know. I mean, I think that they blow out the Giants. In fact, I'm going to go make it's a crazy line though, isn't it? I think it is. I think it's like 13 or 14 points, and that's why I didn't bet it. But I like them. I like them all.
Moving on to tight ends. Second highest selling tight end according to DraftKings, or the Roto Grinders on DraftKings, Adam Troutman of the New Orleans Saints. Never heard of him. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, I'm guessing that's residual of the Lions over the years being terrible against tight ends. I
don't think it's simply just that. I mean, I think the other aspect of it is that Drew Brees doesn't have the ability to push the ball down the field anymore. He can't throw more than 5 yards. So you've got Traquan Smith, Jared Cook is out. So Troutman, Mike Trout's great baseball player, similar name. So, you probably are looking at something in that regard, but I'm not really interested in it because when you get down into the red zone or the green zone, and that's kind of where you're looking for a guy like that to pay off. Is he scores a touchdown and he basically pays off his salary, but then you've got Taysom Hill that probably squeaks in there and takes a touchdown or two. So, I'm good. It's one of those things. It's a cute play. It's somebody that Danger would play in years past, trying to get cute. I think he's kind of gotten past that, which I'm very proud for him. I feel like I had a large part in that, and I hope.
Well, I like to save money on the tight end. Tight end's my favorite place to just throw crap in. But I tell you what, I do the only lineups that I don't have the Bears D in, I have the Lions D in.
I have a Lions D too. I mean, I think you can play Kamara and you can play the Lions D. I mean, there are certain situations where your correlation doesn't make sense. Mark, I think it was Thursday that we talked about one of your lineups that had a really weird correlation. It was a game stack with a defense, and that one didn't make sense. But you can play a defense hoping for one or two turnovers that turns into a touchdown while having a piece of that offense on the other side that you think is going to have a high usage, get a lot of catches, and maybe score a touchdown. You're not playing the Dolphins defense, right? I mean, that's stupid. Some people will.
No,
but,
definitely.
Yeah.
I mean, Breeze is not who he has been, and he certainly is on the road, and he can throw a pick. Absolutely. Kamara has been a running back who has fumbled the ball. It's not crazy at, was it 2.1 to play the Lions D?
Well, and people forget Matt Patricia called one of the best defensive plays of all time. I mean, he's a defensive guru. So, he's probably got a nice little scheme put together.
Yeah. Scheme that will
It's not as sharp as
they have.
It's not sharp as Mark's haircut, but I mean, it's
Mark, looking good, buddy.
Thank you.
I like it. Awesome. Yeah, I mean, tight ends. I mean, I covered a little bit in my tipsy pick video. It's like it's just been the season of paying for the tight ends in the right opportunity and not getting cute. I mean, and it's outside of Troutman. If you look down this list, I mean, it is exactly what it is. Darren Waller. You got Logan Thomas at 3.5%, or 3.5K, just because his value is there, and they're going to have to try to push the ball. I've got him in a few spots because I that's just all the money I had left. But then Gesicki, Hawkinson, Engram, and Andrews, Henry, they all make sense. There's nothing like way out of the line here. I like Rob a lot if you're down in that range. Gronkowski at 3.6. I just think he's going to have that opportunity with the way Tampa Bay's banged up right now to finally maybe get that red zone look he's missing. But yeah, it really makes a lot of sense. There's nothing weird in the tight end spot here. So I've just been kind of building my lineup, and whatever I've got left, I fill in with the best tight end that's there.
Hopkins is active.
Excellent. Because I'm doing it again, man. I'm going with the Drake and Hopkins and Murray. I've been doing it weeks 1, 2, and 3. There's no reason to stop now.
So looking ahead, because I know Mark's gonna do this, but hey, Deebo Samuel tonight, $200
for Deebo. Yeah.
Yeah, Deebo, like the only wide receiver on the team, basically.
All right, you're talking showdown.
$200 in showdown. Are you kidding me? That's a great price. He's gonna be like 100%. Kittle's back, 100% on Deebo. 100%.
Yeah, definitely. I love it. All right, well, let's talk about defenses then. The last thing we haven't talked about. You've already heard my thoughts. I am pretty much locked in on the Bears, and where I don't have the Bears, I have the Lions, because I just I haven't been leaving enough money to pay up for any of the higher owned options. I just like picking against Phillip Rivers, so that's just what I'm going to keep doing. But we're looking at the Houston Texans and the Ravens and the Bucks as all the top owned, and a little bit of Rams in there too.
Yeah, I'm on the Bengals this week, 2,900 against your boy Minshew.
Minshew. Hey, Chark's back, baby. I don't know. Robinson's look good. Chark's back. That could be a nice shootout game.
We'll see.
That's what I was thinking about in wide receivers, man. Boyd and Chark both are only like 2.5% owned.
Well, I mean, yeah, look, that's all well and good, but let's talk about James Robinson, man. Like, that's the dude. The Cincinnati defense is one of the worst DVOA against the rush. They're actually pretty good against the pass, but they've allowed the 6th most points to running back so far this year. They suck, dude. Like, James Robinson's good. I mean, look, I don't care, Mark. Like, I think it's fine. Like, I just, when it comes to picking defenses, if I'm not picking Baltimore or man, who's the other one that's up there? Like, there are 2 of them that are really, really expensive. And if I'm not picking either of those, I'm just.
That's the Bills, the Rams. The Bills, the Rams, and the Ravens are the highest.
Yeah, if I'm not picking one of those, I'm just clicking on people that I don't have in my lineup. You know, a lot of people want to click Houston, but I really like Dalvin Cook. I think Adam Thielen's in a little bit of a bounce back spot. I don't think people are looking at him nearly as much as they would have because of Jefferson. So it's hard for me to go there. Kirk Cousins is a gunslinger.
Mm-hmm. I tell you what, though, man, part of the reason why I fell in love with Chicago is because of that Sunday night game with the kick returner running back. You got Patterson in a spot who might see some rushes with Tariq Cohen out. And,
you can do that with Baltimore, man. You can put the Baltimore defense in there. Go get Double D. I don't know how to pronounce his name, so I'm just going to go with that. And, boom. He's like 3,700. That's perfect for you. I wouldn't do that in a main lineup. I'm not doing that in any of my Wildcat entries, but I am doing it in one of my early onlys.
Sure. I dig it.
Get a little tipsy here.
I like it. All right. Well, guys, I know that you're probably tired of hearing about it, but I've been playing a lot of Prize Picks over at prizepicks.com. It's a lot of fun. It's you got a bunch of guys lined up. They give you a median projection of their fantasy points. It's fairly standard PPR scoring fantasy points, and you select 2, 3, or 4 guys in the 2, 3, or 4 parlay bet, and you choose the over under on their projections. I've been having fun with it. Been doing pretty well with it, and I got a little carried away with League of Legends. Lost most of the bankroll.
Hey, man, last night this morning.
It wasn't yesterday, man. It was tipsy pick night when I was up till 3:30 in the morning chugging growlers doing videos, and I caught you when you woke up and started putting plays.
Yeah, I got smashed halfway through the slate, and I ended up with just like, this sucks, man. Like, this is not working out. I went back to sleep. Everything was actually all right yesterday. Yeah. Today was kind of tough, but it's tough when you pick everything right, and you just don't have good things happen. Your teams don't score a lot of points, but I had something clever to say, but I don't remember what it was.
It's gone. Well, anyway, so the prize.
Yes, I got it. So I thought of you, Danger.
Yes,
there's a tweet that somebody said, "What is your strange out there like crazy skill that some people might want to know?" And somebody put that they do really well at the flash drafts for showdown slates, the flash drafts that you like doing, and that I shipped the other day with a Noah Fant, beautiful. And I thought of you because like your strange skill is Prize Picks.
Yeah, man, it's a weird skill. It's fun. I literally blew the bankroll on that League of Legends, though, drunk at 4 a.m. doing the tipsy pick, but it's fine. We'll get it back going again. But what's nice about it is not only are you not competing against other lineups or people, you're just competing against your own skills at projecting points. But I just found out also Friday night you can go cross sports. So if you only have like 2 guys on the football lineup that you're crazy about, and you've got a good beat on a pitcher in the MLB, and you think LeBron James is going to absolutely smash, you can cross sports in your 4 players, which is pretty neat. But I also found out that they do halves and quarterly picks too for these projections, Chris. So if you're into this Lions New Orleans game and you feel like getting a little action, you can go over to prizepicks.com and you can pick players in the second half or fourth quarter and go after projections of the guys by quarter, which is pretty neat. So they've got a lot of people for the main slate, of course, but I like them instead of showdowns a lot.
I'm gonna throw something out here. If we can get, and Danger's gonna put a referral link out there. So you can use his referral link. If we can get five people to do the referral, that's 5. And you can post a screenshot that you used his referral and that you were able to score you pick 4 picks?
Yeah, you can. You pick 2, 3, or 4, but if you pick 4 for 4, you get 10 times your buy-in.
If you can get the 4 for 4, not only are you going to be a richer person for it, but I'll send you $100 for you to enter one of the single entry $100 entries next Sunday, provided
I
we
like
still.
it. I like it. We're going to have to, post that. So got to find my referral code.
So post that. You need to hit a 4 for 4, any sport, $100 single entry. You can do it in the 50K to first, the 100K to first. Again, this is all dependent on us having football next week.
Absolutely. There. It's posted in the link there. You can go check that out. It's pretty fun. So let's go over a few guys that are on this list there's a lot because it's the main slate. I really enjoy this for the showdowns, for the single games, just getting a little action on the single games because obviously we do a lot of work on DFS for the main slate. So single games, having fun doing the NBA finals on this. It's been a lot of fun. So let's talk about this real quick. Alvin Kamara over under 26.5. Standard PPR scoring basically. So 10 points or 1 point for 10 yards, a point per reception, 6 points a touchdown. 26.5.
I'm over.
Over.
Yeah, I'm with you there. Over. Let's move over here. Another one I like the over on. Nick Chubb, 16.6. Assuming Hunt doesn't play.
Yeah, if Hunt doesn't play, over.
All right, let's get a little weirder here. Kenyon Drake, 16.4.
Over.
Yeah, I think Kenyon Drake's a guy that we didn't really talk about a lot, and I do want to mention something just briefly and why I like the over. Hang on, let me put it together. Give me a second. Carolina has given up a rushing touchdown in the last. I'm going to give you a number. No, don't give me. How many games do you think it's been in a row that they've given up a rushing touchdown?
I'm going to say 13.
Now,
I was going to say 10.
Wait. Mark, here you go for a $3 entry. Over or under 13.
Under.
Saved me $3. It's 16 games.
16. Yeah.
I mean that bodes well for Kenyon Drake. It bodes well for Kyler Murray. One of the two of them is going to score a rushing touchdown, maybe multiple.
Both of them.
Kenyon Drake at 6K is it's a beautiful thing. And I like the points. Let's go over. Let's do it.
Mm-hmm. All right, let's get a little further down depth charts and not these star players. How about Robbie Anderson, 13.6?
I'm under.
Yeah, I'm going to go under.
I'm under because I like DJ Moore's matchup and I like Curtis Samuel's role expanding here. So, yeah. All right. Hollywood Brown, 13.
Under.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Now, look, I like either him or Mark Andrews is going to do really well this week. But I just don't see. I mean, I don't know. I've wrestled with this game for a while in my head. I think that the Ravens put up somewhere between 30 to 38. 38 is the number I'm thinking that they score. Man, I'm going to go to town in a second here. I think they scored 38 points, but how do they score those 38 points? I don't think Brown's going to score any of them.
Right.
But maybe they don't score 38 points. These are the things that go on in my head.
Yeah, I'm off Brown this week. How about last week's darling Justin Jefferson, 13?
Under.
Over.
Yeah, I think it's a good line. I think I like it. So I'm probably going to go under, but man, I like that. That's a good one. Let's see, two more. Let's just do two more here, guys. David Johnson, 14.5. I like the over.
It's an over.
And
Over.
finally, a hot topic on the week, Ronald Jones, 14.4.
I'm going to say under.
Over.
All right. I dig it, guys. Hey, check it out. Go look at the link below this video, even if you're watching afterwards. Check it out. You don't have to get in for this main slate. They will have, every time a game starts, they refresh and have a whole new set of players for other games. You got the MLB playoffs. You can do League of Legends, Worlds on there. I mean, I'm talking tennis, soccer. I played a highlight game. Don't even know what highlight is. I played because they offered me a free entry, so I did it. So, yeah, it's all on there. NASCAR, Chris. NASCAR's on there.
I don't want to talk about NASCAR, man. I did 10 lineups yesterday. I think I cashed one. Like, I looked at my lineup and I did the mistake. I looked earlier. It's like, oh shit, this guy's not even racing. Somehow he was in my MME, and I'm still like in the top 100 with this guy who has a 0. And I was watching. I got Wendy's with my wife. She's never had Wendy's before.
No way. Did you make her have a junior Baconator?
No, she had a double. She had a double. I got the pretzel burger.
That's fine. Also fine.
And we were watching King of Staten Island. She fell asleep.
Is that
good? Well, she didn't want to watch anything that was good, so that was what we ended up with. It was all right. I mean, it wasn't.
No. The thing at Palm Springs, man. Palm Springs. That's the one you got to watch.
She told me no action movies, and then she told me no, like it wasn't a comedy, so I thought it was like a drama or thriller, and then everyone that I showed her she didn't like, so it was just a disaster. What were we talking about?
Who knows? Anyways, guys, I got to go tweak myself out of winning all of the money, and so I've got to go.
All right.
It's been an absolute pleasure. Please check out Draft for Upside on our Facebook page, draftforupside.com. You can find all of our expert advice at fantasyfootballblueprint.com. And we'll be approaching the showdowns and other things on here, as well as, of course, prize picks. And we'll catch you all for our live show Wednesday night, somewhere between 7 and 10 o'clock at night. Who knows, whenever we get on. We'll see you then.
See ya.